Hello and welcome to the Open Book channel, where I talk about everything and anything writerly, very, very honestly. My name is Lady Valheim, your designated open book. Today, I wanted to talk about the generally accepted and circulated idea that you have to legitimize yourself as a business by having a custom email address. And by that, I am referring to an email that uses a custom domain to set up. Once you own a custom domain, you can make an email, or several emails for that matter, that don't rely on the end tag of the email service that you are using. For example, instead of slatyvalheim@gmail.com, I could use slatyvalheim@acidicinc.ca, acidicinc.ca being my business's website. As it happens, I still have a Gmail-reliant email address for my business, so let me tell you my reasons for keeping things this way, as well as why I think majority of small business owners shouldn't bother with a custom email either. I'm sure you all know what my first point is going to be. Budget. When I first looked into getting my own custom email and started paying for one, it was $5 a month. Literally, almost as soon as I enrolled, though, the price was raised, and in my second month, I was bumped up to paying the now $7.80 fee. That is, of course, if you're on a yearly plan, as with most services. If you just want to start out with a monthly commitment, you've got this sneaky little box here revealing that would cost $9.36 instead. Factoring in taxes and inflation, you could be looking at dropping $10 a month on a business email, and that's with the cheapest package they have available. If you're paying for a domain, which presumably you are in this situation because that's the only way that you get a custom email, the cost of having a business email overall could set you back anywhere from this price roughly at the minimum and this price roughly at the maximum a month. And these numbers aren't factoring in website platform or builder services either, which is another expense that we've been sold into thinking we need to run a business. Which for a small business, these numbers are nothing to sniff at. These things add up. So before you dive into setting up a custom email, you should take into consideration not just how much that service costs, but the cost of running a domain as well. Because having a custom domain that also does not exist with a tag like wordpress.com or wix.com is also necessary. I mean, I'm sure you can get a custom email with a free website domain that has the web hoster's name tagged on the end of it still, but it kind of defeats the purpose of having a custom email in the first place, so. And on to my second point for why I don't think you need a custom email is site traffic. I'm not going to throw numbers around here, I'm just going to ask you a question. When you want to contact a company, an agent, even just a content creator, because you have a specific question or query for them, do you type out their email by hand? Do you ever even register what their email is? Or do you do what everyone else does, go into their information page and just copy and paste it into the email header? Quite often, trying to contact people through their website, you don't even get to see what address your message is being sent to. You just have to put yours into the contact form box and send it away somewhere. There's this perception that people, both potential clients and associates, will judge you based on the professionalism of your email address. But how often do they honestly even see it? And if you have genuine cause to send someone an email, are you actually so picky that the fact that their address is poodlesforlife@hotmail.com going to stop you from contacting them? I mean, maybe. Poodles for Life is an odd email, depending on what you're using the email for. I wouldn't bat an eye if I was emailing a fellow author with that, but I would question it a little if I was inquiring about editing services, for example. But that's the thing. Emails are free. You can always make a new one that better aligns with what people would be contacting you through it for. primoedits@gmail.com would be a perfectly acceptable email address for an editor. Maybe it's just me, but I'm not going to get hung up on the fact that it's a gmail.com email. Do you think that solidifying yourself as editor at primoedits.ca over primoedits@gmail.com is worth the money, when most people don't even bother reading the email address they're copy-pasting into their message? Because I don't. I touch on this in my previous videos about starting a small business, playlist in the card above, and I'll probably reiterate it later too. But I made this video because I want to disillusion the entrepreneurial, self-made hustle culture that we formed around starting your own business, where everyone has tips and lists of things you have to do, services that you have to get. I want to be the one to tell you, that's just a suggestion. There is no one way to run your business, just like there's no one way to live a life. It's overwhelming the amount of tutorials and content around being an entrepreneur on the internet because it's a desirable thing to be, but because of that, it's also become quite gatekept. Gurus will tell you that to appear professional, you need this and that, a custom domain, a web builder, a custom email, but please remember, it's all conditional. Don't feel pressured into taking on unnecessary expenses that don't make sense for your business yet, just because you want to look like you're professional. Let your work, your product, your passion speak for itself. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support me and this channel, you can find a link to my Ko-fi in the description below. A special thank you to the Open Book's current supporters, you're the best, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!